recording. All right, everybody, and welcome to tsnlive.tv. We actually have a special guest on. We're streaming live, breaking news, and we have our dear friend, Joey, from London, live from London. It's about, what time is it now, Joey, over there?
It's 1:15.
It's
Oh
One.
my God.
So there he is, live in person through Skype.
Hi, Joey.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm not too bad.
I think it's so cool that he's in London right now and we're in New York. I think it's awesome.
Technology, huh?
I know it. It's finest.
It's amazing.
I know it really is.
So, Joey, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We definitely want to hear, I think definitely us being in America and not really knowing the full situation.
Or what it's really like over there right
what's
now.
really going on. And of course, we were seeing your post on Facebook and Twitter, and we were concerned for your safety.
Yeah.
But, we were definitely just really intrigued about what was going on over there and wanted to get your point of view. So why don't you fill us in about maybe how this started, how it all started?
Right.
Okay, well, last Thursday, a black male was shot in North London in an area called Tottenham. He was shot after he had a handgun, and he apparently didn't fire at the police. However, they still shot him, and he died. And since then, there was a small protest on Saturday that started off in this area, Tottenham, which was a peaceful protest, which was a march, as in for sort of requesting an independent investigation into the goings-on. That then developed into a small riot in that area, and then all of a sudden it spread and spread and spread, and it happened in London. Just as any city, New York, you've got your different areas and stuff. We have
Right.
a very similar thing here, basically, and it just spread into areas.
Right.
And looting started, violence started, cars were being set on fire, and these people that young groups of males basically, and they looted everywhere. They ransacked the whole place, and they seem to be fighting for this cause. That the original incident that started last Thursday.
Right.
However, it sort of then moved on to just a sort of greed and want to cause trouble, and it's now spread across England. It's not just London anymore.
And it's
Um,
still going on.
Tonight's been really quiet in London.
Okay.
They put 16,000 police onto the street, which I don't know if you guys would understand those sort of numbers in a place like London, but that's 5 times more than they would have on an average
That's crazy.
Friday night.
That's crazy.
So
So is the average London citizen supporting this? Are they angry? Are they happy that people are standing up and fighting? I mean,
no, not at all. I mean, because of the nature of the violence, it's not. Originally it started off as your big chain stores that were getting looted, and not many people had complained as much until it began to be anything being looted. I've seen charity shops that have their items just thrown all over the road, and these they didn't break in to steal anything of value. They just did it to cause damage, did it to get their point across.
Right. It's wild. I mean, we've seen pictures. We've seen, people setting fires, turning cars over. I mean, it just seemed like complete chaos. I mean, how close were you to the craziness? Was it like, the phrase, was it in your backyard kind of thing? Like, did you?
Yeah, pretty much. I've lived in London all my life,
Right.
in various areas, and yeah, no matter where you lived, there was a riot streets away, blocks away.
It's crazy. And it was just, was it like all night long you would just hear screaming and like mass chaos?
Sirens.
And
Yeah, sirens was the main one, because there was the police sort of didn't know how to react, because it went from an isolated incident to an across town incident.
right.
That they were going from one place to another, And as soon as they left one place, it started again, and people were returning. So the police were on the move all night, constantly.
I can't even imagine like how.
So has there been they've been obviously it's violent and their intentions are not for the better of like for a certain cause. Now it's just becoming out of control. Has there been a lot of casualties? We've been hearing that there's been few people who've passed away. Is that
Yeah,
something that's been happening?
yeah, that's happened. I mean, what it is, I'm a writer, so I've got a lot of journalist friends around London and also in other cities such as Birmingham and Manchester. And I did find out last night that three Asian men were run over, hit and run by a vehicle, whilst out protecting their businesses and their houses. Because what we're finding now, a lot of normal people like, say, you and I,
Right.
they've actually come out onto the streets of the night and protected as a group their blocks and their local businesses. And last night, one group were attacked by these rioters. So no longer are the rioters attacking polices; they're actually attacking the general community.
Right. Like
And they actually hit and run and killed three young Asian males last night.
So I think it's very interesting that they're organizing the riots through BBM and through Twitter and things like
Yeah.
that. What's the take from the London media or the average citizen? What do they think about that? What do you think about that?
What, through the use of social media?
Right.
The
Yeah, to
um
organize these riots.
yeah, I mean personally, I've seen some of the messages that have been passed through BBM. Some have been posted to me as part of like my sort of research and stuff. And I mean, it's something the police I don't think realise could happen. That it can go under the radar like that. These were organised by BBM. It was the main source of
Communication.
source of the areas where to hit, where to go. These were being passed around, and I just think it's crazy that you can't. It's not possible to govern every source of media.
Right.
So now, BBM, they did mention that they would be working with BlackBerry and RIM, is it?
Yeah, and they said that they were gonna cooperate with the police and give them anything that they needed. What are they gonna do? Like hack into the
Well, there was,
phones?
I mean, there was talk at one point when the rioting was at its sort of peak, that they was going to shut down the BlackBerry BBM
Wow,
messaging
wow,
service. They was going to shut it down completely.
Wow.
that's huge.
Yeah.
And the police have admitted themselves that they do struggle with the fact that this sort of stuff, that they're not in touch with this stuff as
Right.
much yet.
Right.
So has the prime minister come forward and what have they said? They just have been, I guess, giving some type of reassurance to the citizens that they're going to be bringing in support for the police and that they're putting an end to this. I mean, was by the second
Yeah.
day, weren't the citizens upset and angry that this was continuing to go forward, or were they
Yeah,
scared?
I mean, there was a lot of questions people wanted answered, and actually David Cameron was on his holiday when this began. He was actually on his, I don't know whether he gets a week or 5 days holiday a year or something, but he was actually on his holiday and he came back. I mean, we'd lost confidence in our government a long time ago. Over here, we've got the sort of view that they're all the same. We have three leading parties, which are the Liberal Democrats, the Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats, the Conservatives, and the Labour Party. And they're not much different. So regardless of who we have in, we've sort of lost confidence. However, they did increase the policing immediately, and they seem to have dealt with it pretty well. As I say, tonight's been pretty quiet, so what he's doing must be working, but it's still a hard one to call whether it's going to carry on, and they can't keep the 16,000 police on the streets of London every night forever,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially the cost, just the cost
Yeah,
of what this is costing London. And I was actually just reading here that 250 officers are sent from Scotland to help the rioting and the disorder.
Wales.
Is it bringing some sort of unified feeling to the London citizens, the ones that aren't rioting?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I mean, I don't know whether you guys know about sort of football hooliganism in America, but we have this, yeah, we have this football hooligan problem. However, a few communities last night who have these football hooligans based there actually, as I say, protected their streets, but they then became sort of vigilantes.
Oh, wow.
They started hunting down people, and not with not much care as to who it was they were chasing. These hooligans are mainly white, and if they did see a young black man on the street or on a bike, or they did tend to chase them down, which is another major problem we're going to face, because is it going to be a cat and mouse game between different races now?
Yeah. What are the long-term effects of all of this?
Yeah, because it could completely tear this country apart.
Right.
I mean, this country's been struggling for a little while, and this was waiting to happen. This was inevitable. Oh, oh,
Well, we're
my
live.
light bulb just got.
Was it any of the rioting going on? Did somebody cut your electric?
No, I hope not.
No, I'm just teasing. Do you want to try to go fix that and come back? Was it the light? Are you okay? Are you
I
safe?
think it's just a light bulb. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you can see me.
Yes, we can see you. We can
Yes.
see you.
Oh, that's cool.
I wanted to ask, and now I just lost my train of thought. I just got nervous right there.
I'm so scared.
Don't be.
Don't be scared. So, I remember my question was after the few more intense days, I should say, of when the rioting was taking place, and I saw like that big building was on fire, and it was
Yeah.
just I was watching. I had BBC News on, and they had it on. The next day in the morning, when all the ruckus of the night was quiet and away, was the average citizen like going to work? Were things closed because of what was going on? Did it affect the normal day?
Yes and no. I mean, there was a lot of people. A lot of people did meet up through Facebook and stuff. And there was I don't know if you see it. It trended on Twitter for a while. Clean up the riots.
Right.
The riot cleanup. That was hashtag riot cleanup. And many people actually came out of their houses and cleaned up the streets with dustpans and brushes and brooms. In terms of working in the city, we all had to carry on as normal. Just as in the way of it's very similar to a terrorist attack. July the 7th in London and maybe September 11th in America. Many of us still had to go to work,
Right.
even though all this sort of
Chaos.
damage was done around
right.
us.
Wow. So, I'm glad to hear that you're safe, Joey.
And things seem to be settling down a little bit.
Yeah. So now, what's the plan moving forward? Like on the nightly news or in the papers? I mean, so you said today it's quiet. It's about 1:30 a.m. there. At this time, would from the other past nights, would this time be a time where there were things going on? Did it happen at like 3 in the morning?
Yeah, this was the prime time. This things began. Groups of you started gathering at like 6 in the evening, 6
wow.
p.m. But I mean, they carried on till now, and this was the time. About this time, it would be at the height. People were getting really rowdy. Police weren't backing off so much. So yeah, about this time would be pretty rowdy.
So now, do you think, like your personal opinion, that the fact that this was happening and that the people were gathering together, do you think now that the police will be more suspicious of maybe groups of young people or, people of all ages, like getting together? And do you think that
monitoring phone use, like
Right.
because of BBM being involved,
do you think that your rights
are going to be jeopardized at all after this?
Yeah, I mean, I live in these areas, and I've grown up around here, and I mean, I've been stopped and searched by police loads of times. You know, it just kind of happens. We used to hang about in a group of 5 or 6 of us, not because we was a gang or we was robbing. We used to play football in the park and stuff.
Right.
So we used to go as a group of friends, and we've been stopped and searched. And I just think it's going to continue. It will continue pretty much the same. They will be wary of this sort of thing happening again, but I think it's more, you know, prevention is better than cure, the cliche saying. But I think that they'll work more on preventing it than dealing with it when it does happen.
Right. Wow. So, I mean, that's a lot where we feel very special and honored right now that we have a London news anchor to
Consultant,
report
right.
to us. And we thank you so much,
Yeah,
Joey, for
No problem.
taking the time to speak with us and give us, your insight.
Right. And your perspective, your side of things, you know, what a first-hand look at what's really going on over there. So
Yeah.
we're happy to hear that everything is settling down, and we're happy that you're safe and that you were able to talk with us tonight.
Yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
And for staying up late.
Yes, for staying.
That's fine.
And thank you always for supporting TopShelf
Yes.
Network. And
No problem.
we'll definitely have you on as a guest again.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
And-
When my lights are fixed.
Yes.
Yes.
And lights are fixed. Thank you again, Joey, so much. And be safe.
No
You're
problem.
in our thoughts. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Wow.
Craziness.
Wow, that's nuts.
I think I'm just still in shock that we were able to hear something that's really going on over there, like as it's happening.
I feel so excited right now that we had Joey from London on.
I know.
Our first Skype caller.
And I'm just really happy that he is safe.
We're so happy he's safe
Because we love Joey.
we genuinely love Joey.
We do. He's our fan from London, and he's now officially our London consultant. If,
Yes.
if you're watching, Joey, you're officially I'm making you. We're sending you a little
T-shirt.
A little.
Oh, a little.
No, like the
Like
word I'm looking for.
a Miss Universe.
Yeah, like a thing like that. You know, a sash.
No, but it's always interesting to actually hear somebody who's experiencing these things firsthand, because you can't always believe what you're reading in the media, and you and I could
or
form
what's one-sided things, or leaving some things out. And regardless of whether or not you can trust what news outlet you're watching or whatever, it's still always really, it's exciting, and it's also cool to be able to hear from London, from the direct source.
And I mean, let's be honest, how hot is his accent?
I know you're getting us flustered.
We're getting very, very
I was just like, some of the things he was saying, I was just like, I love that accent.
I know. So
Hot. Hot.
We're glad to hear that all the England,
That it
the
seems
London
to be
riots,
quieting down and everything, and hopefully this will just, tomorrow just be like a horrible memory, and just move on from it.
Yeah, I really like the fact that he mentioned that the citizens were coming out and they were like sweeping,
Right,
and they were
and
organizing
cleaning up themselves.
The fact that unfortunately some of the social networking that was being used to cause damage was also being used to help fix the situation as much as possible. And
Well, I did see that actually earlier today. I saw that like he said riot cleanup was trending on Twitter.
Right.
I did see that. So I thought, okay, maybe that means, things are coming together a little bit. People are picking up the pieces. But, I think social media and the fact that BBM was involved and Twitter was involved, and, Facebook meetups were scheduled and everything like that is insane. But also at the same time, though, it keeps everybody informed, and also kind of presents, everybody. A lot of people found out about this through Twitter. That's how I found out about it at first.
They actually used social networking to organize the riots that was taking place in Egypt a few months ago. So I think that there's
going to be a regulation law coming our way with mediating.
You know what? There's already been
social media.
There's already been some talk about at least for America, that the feds want to regulate what goes on in the internet, and
Right.
because we're one of the few countries also that has, we could post whatever we want, we could read whatever we want. I mean, let's be honest. China doesn't even have Facebook.
Right.
So, North Korea doesn't even have an internet, so there is a type of hold that, I guess maybe some governments are going to try to grasp, but it's very interesting to see the power, I guess, the social power of
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
It's not just, tweeting about
How strong it is, how
about
influential it
celebrities.
is.
Right, about celebrities or about, trending topics about,
Yeah.
people's hairdo or whatever. This is about actual social cause. No, I mean, it's serious because on Sweet and Vicious, we talked about how Jersey Shore was like, 56% of all
Right.
social users were talking about that.
Right.
But it's really powerful and inspiring at the same time to see that although the riots were taking place, that there was some good coming out of it about the cleanups.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for joining us.
Yes, for
On
our
our live
Pray for London special.
Pray for London special.
Hashtag Pray for London special.
Pray for London. We want to thank again Joey for taking the time out to speak with us.
Follow him on Twitter at Joey Fume TV.
Yes.
I think.
I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
it is. We'll post the link on our Facebook.
Yes,
You can
absolutely.
check out Top Shelf Facebook at facebook.com/TopShelf Network. And you can also, of course, watch us on tsnlive.tv or our website, TopShelfNetworkNY.com. Thank you again. Enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe, London.
Bye.
Bye.